2 news networks here. Great. Thanks for showing up.
We're here today. Bienvenidos a todos. Nosotros aquí hoy porque mayor. We're here today because the mayor and Immigration Customs Service has actually said that they're not going to follow the legislation that the people have asked for to support migrant youth. We're here as a group of multiracial mamas in an act of black-brown unity, an act of community involvement, and the main point as mamas at Prensa Pobre, Poor Magazine. Migrant children, immigrant children are all of our children. I am Boricua and Irish, and my mama was mixed race as well, and her grandmother was an immigrant. What does that make my son? What does that make me? The concept of anybody being illegal in a city that practices a sanctuary law is illogical. So one of the first things that confuses us about the mayor's statements is why are we talking about people, children, as though they are criminals? There was a request by the citizenry of San Francisco to pass this legislation. The board voted 8-2. That means the people want this to happen. And the mayor is claiming that he's not going to follow it. And there's really one reason for that, and that's because he's trying to run for governor and look like he's getting tough on crime. Well, how are you calling children criminals by denying their due process rights anyway? Migrant children are all of our children. So we have several mamas out here today, and fathers, and people to speak. First I'm going to ask for Lori McElroy to come up.
And I've just prepared a statement. On October 20th, the 8-2 vote in favor of giving due process to immigrant youth on our city's terms before turning them over to the Immigration and Customs Police was disregarded by the mayor. I am not sure that I want as governor a man who disregards legislation approved by a duly appointed legislative body.
No.
I'm troubled by the mayor's attitude. I believe it was another Democratic Party leader, Hillary Clinton, who brought the African proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child," back into the American consciousness. We need to think, and Mayor Newsom needs to think seriously on what that means. In the spirit of black and brown unity, in the spirit of motherhood that crosses borders, and in the spirit of universal responsibility for youth, I say that no child deserves to be thrown away, not based on skin color or ethnicity or country of origin, not for any reason. I want to believe that this is a nation and a city governed not only by the rule of law, but by the desire for justice to be served inside and outside of the letter of the law. Thank you.
Queen Nande.
Nande.
Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? I'm Queen Nandi. That's QUEENNANDI. And I am a staff writer with Poor Magazine. I am a poet with Poor Magazine, motivational speaker, and I'm also a mother. Like Tiny said before, all the children of the world are all our children. All of the children of the world, all of my children. All of our children. They're all of my children. They're all of your children. How dare we have a system that sit up here and collaborate and do backdoor deals, planning the demise of our youth. We as a people have the right to stand up for our children when they're being under attack. The criminalization of our youth does not eliminate crime itself, but education and rehabilitation would ensure that this nation rears productive citizens. What kind of a person opposes the end of youth criminalization and suffering? Even the court system abuses our children. It doesn't have to be so much as physical, but it's mentally and emotionally. And who is children when they are watching in horror as their parents are being hauled off to jail, or when they're being hauled off to jail because they're so-called immigrants that are already labeled criminals. Who are there to defend them against the naysayers that predict their doom before the child even has a chance to blossom? The separation and incarceration of minority families is indeed a crime. That's a crime itself. So how is it that the criminals can decide who is a criminal or not? How is it that the high office criminals can commit child abuse in all forms towards our children? This is a worldwide problem here. This is a thing that needs to have global attention, because not only is it happening here in America, but it's happening all over the world. Our children are being sold into slavery. Our children are being criminalized. Our children are being ripped from their homes. Our children are being emotionally and physically